The Dominica Freedom Party says it is deeply concerned about the recent statement by the United Kingdom Home Secretary of the possible imposition of visas on Dominicans entering the UK. Leader of the Dominica Freedom Party, Judith Pestena, is calling on Prime Minister Skerritt to disclose the real reasons why the British government is considering such a step, and views the Prime Minister's attempt to blame Dominican citizens travelling to the UK for genuine reasons as misleading.
And that in itself is very worrying, because I do not think, as the Prime Minister has stated, that it is just by not putting the correct information on an immigration form or by overstaying that is going to pose a security risk to the UK, because genuine Dominicans traveling to the UK for business, leisure, or any other reason certainly are not posing a security risk. And I think this is the word we have to bear in mind. And we have to read between the lines, because all along Dominicans have been going to the United Kingdom. People who overstay are just sent back and cautioned. But this is a new dimension that we are seeing taking place. And we have to remember what happened in the case of Canada, when Canada decided to impose visa restrictions on Dominicans traveling to Canada. I do not think it was the man in the street who was, posing any kind of concern or risk to their immigration, rules. So, this is something that is very worrying, and I do not think we are hearing the full story. We have, as they said, a 6-month period to review the practices of Dominicans going to the UK, but I think we have to look at Dominicans who hold our passports, so-called Dominicans, who travel to those countries on Dominican passports and who are not really genuine Dominicans. And I think these are the people who are posing a security risk, and these are the people who are causing concern to the UK. It is not me and you. And this is something which we have to take very seriously. So I am hoping that whatever discussions have been held with the UK government, that we can reassure them that Dominicans, and that is genuine Dominicans, are certainly not who they have to worry about. And whoever is causing the problem will be dealt with accordingly.
Leader of the Dominica Freedom Party, Judith Pestena, she says this is unacceptable, as concerns have been expressed about foreigners in possession of Dominican passports who have attempted to violate the immigration laws of major countries. Meantime, British High Commissioner to Dominica, Paul Brumell, says relations between the two countries are very cordial. Brumell met with Prime Minister Skerritt and other government officials on Monday to discuss the possible visa restrictions on Dominicans.
Oh, that's very much at the heart of my job. I think Britain's relations with Dominica are extremely warm. We have a very long history of very productive collaboration. We're working together with the government of Dominica extremely positively in a wide range of areas, and I would certainly expect that to continue. I think actually what's happened since the announcement made by the Home Secretary and Foreign Secretary really is a demonstration of the strength of the positive relationship, in that the immediate response was a letter from Prime Minister Skerritt to the British government in assuring us of the very full cooperation of the Dominican government, and I think the meeting that I've had today with the Prime Minister is a very concrete example of the genuineness of that commitment. So I think the bilateral relationship is in a very good place, and I certainly hope that during this 6-month mitigation period that everything will be done to ensure that actually at the end of the process we will conclude that no visa requirement is necessary.
British High Commissioner to Dominica, Paul Brumell. Britain will announce in 6 months whether Dominicans will require visas to travel to the mainland territory. Health Promotion Resource Coordinator Helen Royer has called on Dominicans to make a difference in their lifestyles. She says inactivity and lifestyle trends are precursors to a number of health issues that citizens are being faced with. She was at the time speaking at the recently concluded 1,000 People, 1,000 City World Health Day City Walk.
We know also some of the problems with inactivity and this lifestyle. Most of the conditions that we are now facing within Dominica is based on our lifestyle practice. the things we eat, the smoking, the alcohol. So this year we are calling on you, encouraging you. I cannot really motivate you. You have to motivate yourself. I think it was Richard Batch who said that within each and every one of us, there is the power of consent to be rich or to be poor, to be healthy or to be sick. But most of the times, we keep saying that we are big because it's in our genes. But we know too we are big because we eat what we shouldn't eat. We say we are big because our family have big bones. That is not true. Let us reverse that and let us take responsibility for our health. We want to tell you in Roseau and the environs, you can make a difference in your health.
Health Promotion Resource Coordinator Helen Royer. In other news, Parliamentary Representative for the Kalinago Territory, Ashton Grano, has described a protest action by the Sineku residents as unfortunate. Residents protested for the better part of Monday for what they said was a failure of the Kalinago Council and government to start work on much anticipated playing field. Grano says, however, the matter has been resolved and work will commence in 2 weeks' time.
Well, this is a situation that arose because the villagers think that it is time that the project, which is the playing field, should have been started. However, as you know, those things usually take some time. There's a process that has to be followed, and that is exactly what the council was doing. They didn't seem to be satisfied with the duration of time, the time between the span between the time that the money was delivered and the slowness of the work. However, we were able to resolve the matter. They were asking for 3 weeks duration, in which time we were asking for 3 weeks. They wanted 2 weeks time. Eventually, we agreed within that time, 2 weeks and a half, that we should be able to get something going. Really, the work needed here is to get the contractors to agree on a time to start the work, the actual work. The council is in control of this because the money had been given to the council a few months ago. However, there were some things holding up the process. Ownership to lands and the drawing of the plan. From what I understand, plan should be made available to us this week, and the owners of the land have agreed for compensation, so see something happening soon.
Parliamentary Representative for the Kalinago Territory under Kingston Ashton Grano. In other news, sociologist and criminologist Dr. Peter Sejan has told Dominicans that it is important to reach out to small community areas deemed as problem areas. Speaking on KairiFM this week, Dr. Sejan said it is a way to encourage the indigenous happenings of peace, for we are no longer colonized.
I think it's very important that we reach out to communities like this, communities like Silver Lake that we say, and go out there and really hear from the people's perspective what it is that they do to keep peace in their community and how can they do it better. It can be one approach to say, oh, you guys are causing trouble and how to stop. But I say the way to go at it is the way of encouraging the indigenous happenings of peace, because we are no longer colonized people where the idea is divide and conquer, and you come and you create some problem and you hope that people stay divided because then you want to keep the country. Then this is our country now, you know. So what I think is that we have to reach out to the people who otherwise would be causing some problems.
Seja says although there is no juvenile justice system in Dominica, this does not mean that they should not be worked with.
And the fact that we do not have a juvenile justice system here, the kinds of problem that's created. But we have to work with those young persons, and we cannot just be trying to speak to the choir, because and we cannot also just think about young persons, because oftentimes the actions of the young persons are reflected by the failures of the adults in their life.
Sociologist and criminologist Dr. Peter Sejan. I am Alvin Alexander.
Kairi News for total and complete unbiased news coverage. Bigger and better than ever. Follow the best news. It's only on KairiFM. Stay here.